The forbidden door. It all started with a simple warning. Don't open the door. I'm not one to follow rules or warnings blindly, but there was something about that phrase that unnerved me deeply. My name is Laura, and I moved into an old mansion on the outskirts of the city, a place that had belonged to my grandfather, a man I never met. My family rarely spoke of him, and when they told me I could stay there, it seemed like the perfect escape from city life. The mansion was huge, and although the furniture was covered in white sheets, the structure stood firm, as if time had decided to pause there. For the first few days, everything seemed normal, but something strange kept tugging at the back of my mind. On the second floor, at the end of a long hallway, there was a door that was always locked. This door wasn't listed on any of the house's blueprints, and when I asked about it, my mother simply looked at me with sad eyes and said, "Don't open that door, ever." At first, I thought it was just some family superstition, something my mother had inherited from my grandmother. But over time, my curiosity gnawed at me. Why was that door so important? What was behind it? Every night, as I prepared to sleep, my eyes would inevitably wander toward that door. Sometimes, I could almost feel something watching me from the other side, a cold presence that chilled me to the bone. One night, when curiosity consumed me entirely, I decided to break the rule. I knew I shouldn't, but the temptation was too great. I grabbed the key I had found in my grandfather's dresser and made my way to the hallway. The air grew heavier as I approached. My hand trembled as I inserted the key into the lock, and with a soft click, the door slowly creaked open. What I saw beyond it wasn't a room or a basement. It was an empty space, dark, but filled with something I couldn't quite see clearly. I could only sense a shadow, a shape that moved along the walls, its faintly glowing eyes piercing through the darkness. The atmosphere felt thick with dread, as if the air itself was pressing against me. I tried to step back, but my feet wouldn't move. It was as if something invisible was holding me in place, pulling me toward the darkness. With each step, I moved closer to the shadow, and the air grew colder, more putrid. A gust of icy air struck my face, smelling of damp earth and decay. My heart raced, but my body refused to respond. Finally, I fell to ground, and the door slammed shut behind me. I found myself in total darkness. There were no shapes, no figures, only an empty void. But then I heard something else, something far worse. A soft laugh, low and malevolent, echoed from deep within the room. And in that moment, I realized something I would never forget. That door wasn't meant to keep something in. It was meant to keep something out. When I finally managed to crawl out, I dragged myself back toward the door, and it closed with a violent thud, leaving a feeling of deep horror in my chest. The whispering was gone, but I could still feel it. Something had escaped, and now it watched me. Over the next few weeks, things only worsened. I began hearing voices around the house, whispers that called my name. I would look over my shoulder, but no one was ever there. What was worse was when I went to bed, I always felt that presence in the room with me, a shadow that slid along the walls. The cold that ran down my spine was unmistakable. I haven't opened that door again, but I know it wasn't just some accident. I unleashed something that doesn't belong in this world. Now, when I look in the mirror, I can see those dark eyes watching me from the shadows. And always I hear the whisper, "Laura, come,